Hey guys, this is volume 15. Carmine from New York tries to teach photography. All right, today we are going to discuss some emails that I received. Um, I got about five good emails that I think I should share. Um, it's some questions from some subscribers. That reminds me, please subscribe. Um, I passed the 500 mark. I'm shooting for 1,000 subscribers. Click the button. Have some fun. Don't forget, you can comment below. You can send me any questions you want by email, blackandwhitephoto@aol.com. You can check out all the photographs that we'll discuss today, plus thousands of others, on my website, carminetaverna.com. Uh, no fear. There's no pop ups, there's no ads. I don't sell anything. It's just a place to view my photographs. All right. Um, Things have been going well. I received about 41, 42 emails in the last few days. And what I've done is I picked five emails that I think would be interesting to everybody. All right, let's go right into it. The first one's kind of funny. It says, "You must love disco lights." Well, you have to understand, yeah, there's a lot of disco lights in this on this channel because that all came first. This is my man cave. I'm in a corner of my man cave, and all the stuff you see up on the walls, and believe me, there's tons of others. It was all part of the man cave to give it a lounge feeling. So this corner that I picked in the man cave is for my computer and now my YouTube studio. Okay. Question or email number 2. What is your go-to black and white film? Well, it's funny. It always changes. It always changes what my go-to black and white film is. Right now, today, right, this is what, November 14th, 2021, I have discovered a brand of film that I don't know its history. I don't know if it's been around a long time. There's very little known about it on the internet. Slowly, there's some YouTube videos showing its qualities on YouTube. I fell in love with this film. First, before I tell you what it is, I want to show you an example. This is a photograph I just took when? A few days ago. Okay. This photo, try and get it level. Okay. This, I guess that's about the best. This photo I took a few days ago here in New York. It's obviously on the shoreline, and that's a tiki statue that's about 7 feet tall. Anyway, let's talk about the film. This film is, frankly, gorgeous. The deep blacks, the tonal range of this film is incredible. I've never come across a film that I found to be reminiscent of the film of like a Kodak Tri-X combined, which was a 400 speed film, combined with the softness, the grain quality of like a Plus X, right? That was a slow speed Kodak film, all in one. This reminds me of the quality of Kodak films in the 60s and 70s. Now, before I tell you what the film it is, let me just give you one more fact. The camera I used was the FUJICA G690. Okay, the FUJICA G690 is a medium format camera, film camera, that takes a 6 centimeter by 9 centimeter negative. It's gigantic. Okay, 6 by 9, the FUJICA G690. Okay, that was the camera. All right, enough suspense. What's the film? Shanghai. Ridiculous name. It's the Shanghai GP3. It comes in 120 and it comes in 35 millimeter. It's cheap. It's only about $6 a roll. Okay, here's the side view. Okay, Shanghai GP3. It's a 100 ISO speed film. Okay, from Hong Kong. Okay, it's from Hong Kong. Let me read you the whole box here. It says the Shanghai John Cheng Technology Company Limited. ISO 100. 36 exposure. This box, 36 exposures. Okay, I develop it in D76, 1:3. All right. This film is gorgeous. Shanghai GP3. Okay, you think this is easy? Looking at it, it's like a mirror image. Okay, 35 millimeter and 120. This film, I like this film so much that I often think, someday it's not going to be available. I just discovered it, and now I love this film so much. I'm already saying, what if they stop making it? Oh, well, what if we go to war? Oh, they're not going to be importing film. I highly recommend this film. Highly. Now, with everything good is something not so good. What's not so good about this film? Let's go back to the print. Okay. I don't know where's the best place to put it. Okay. So much reflection. Okay. Now, you're going to have to use a editing program for such as the one I always brag about, Movavi, M-O-V, V-A-V, V-I, Movavi 6, or now I think it's called the Movavi Picverse. Okay. Use the tool, object removal tool. Okay. Here's why you're going to need, use any post-production software you like, as long as it has an object removal tool. Here's why. Up here, right, in the sky. By the way, this picture, it was a bright, cloudless blue sky. Okay? And you know, after 48 years of taking photographs, you have to do something with the sky. So I got this sky, you can see here, a little bit of vignetting, right? Dark. I got it dark. How? I used the red filter. Red filter with black and white film will turn the blue sky as dark as possible. Okay? And that's how I got that effect. So let's get back to the software, object removal. In places on your photo, right, which are big expanses of plane, right? There's no objects there. You will notice with this film, okay, Shanghai GP3, okay, whether it's the 120 or the 35 millimeter, right? You will notice production, when they made the film, production blemishes. Now, it's the opposite of a scratch. A scratch, when you are editing your film, will look like a white line. Okay, these are not white lines, these are dark lines. Okay, which that kind of a blemish is not from when you developed your film. That kind of blemish is from when the film was manufactured. Okay, it's not a scratch, it's a blemish. uh, my background in film processing, right? Like I told you guys volumes ago, I worked for professional wedding photography and quinceanera photography laboratory. The blemish on the film when it's manufactured would be when the emulsion, right? That's the light sensitive material. When it's placed on the plastic film backing, okay? If the chemicals in the emulsion are not dispersed evenly, they'll clump together, and that's what you get sometimes with the Shanghai film. Okay? It's not a big deal. Remove it easily. We're talking about, a little line here or there. Okay? It's very simple to get rid of. You hit it with the removal tool, object removal tool. Boom. Gone. Okay? But I love this film. This film, Shanghai GP3, is wonderful. So that hopefully answers that emailer's question. What's your go-to black and white film? Like I said, it changes all the time. It changes all the time, right? It was Ilford HP5 for years. Before that, it was Kodak products, you know, originally Tri-X and then T-Max, right? Changes all the time. But right now, I highly recommend the Shanghai GP3, right? If you can, if you're a 35 millimeter shooter, buy the bulk roll. It's 100 feet, right? 100 feet of the 35 millimeter. It's about 89 bucks on eBay. That's the best prices right now. It's also on Amazon, higher price. eBay, directly from Hong Kong. Okay, it's about 89 bucks for 100 feet. You buy yourself a daylight film loader and some cassettes. And the beauty part about that, when you roll your own film, is, sometimes shooting 36 exposures takes a while because, each, it's not like digital where you can shoot 100 pictures, delete the card, shoot another 100. No, it costs you bucks each time you take a picture. My point is, when you bulk roll your own on a cassette, you put the film in a bulk roller, right? Then you get a piece of tape, you put it on the spindle, right? Close the cover. You can make rolls of film instead of 24, 36. You can make them 10 frames. You can make them 15 frames. Say you're going to go out for the day, right? And you want to come back that day, develop it. You're not stuck with, I only shot 10 frames and I really want to develop this film, but I got all this extra film in there. I don't want to waste it. So you put the camera down, you wait for another opportunity to take pictures, take a few more. Sometimes, if you're like me, you don't want to just burn through the film just so you can develop it right away. Sometimes I will make bulk rolled cassettes, right? 10 frames. Go out, shoot this particular thing, come back, develop it, and not have a thought that, I wasted all this extra film. Okay? So bulk roll is about 100 bucks. No, it's about $89 for 100 feet of the Shanghai film. 36 exposure roll, right, will cost you about six. Don't pay any more than $6 a roll, right? 120, about the same thing. Okay? Highly recommended. One day I just happened to see it on eBay. I was searching for 120 film and I saw this and I said, what? Shanghai? Really? And I bought a roll, and I loved it. You guys can see for yourself the results. All right. So that answers that question from an emailer. What is your go-to black and white film? All right, let's go on to email number 3. You mentioned how you scan 120 medium format film. What specifically do you use, i.e., camera, lens, copy stand? Okay. When I scan my 120 size film, I use the first thing you have to get, all right, is a copy stand. The brand I use is called the Mini 500. Mini 500. The best price I found for this copy stand is at Walmart.com. Okay, everybody else sells it. It's a very popular copy stand. Nice heavy wooden base, strong steel support column, very thick L bracket to mount the camera on, very sturdy. Okay, the Mini 500 copy stand. Walmart.com has the best price. So that's the copy stand. Next, to light the film, I use an LED copy board. The model number is the A4-K1. Okay, it's a 5 watt. They're only about $20 on Amazon. It's pretty big. Right, it's right here. Right, it's about 11 by 14. Okay, very thin. It's magnetic. Right, so you can get magnets to hold stuff down. What they used for is like tracing. Like, you put something here and then get a piece of tracing paper and you can trace whatever you want. But photographers now, we've been using these to light up negatives. All right, it's only about $20 on Amazon, 2022, whatever. LED copy board, 5 watts. It's about 11 by 14. In fact, why say about? Let's measure it. Let's measure it. It is 10 by 13. I'm pretty close. 10 by 13. All right, that's your light source. Okay. The piece of glass that goes on top. You could also get this on Amazon. I use 5x7. It's called picture frame replacement glass. Okay, it comes in a 3-pack. It's a few bucks. When it comes, first Windex both sides, get it spotless, right? Hold it up, look for any blemishes, make sure there's no waves, make sure there's no bubbles. You want to get the best, clearest piece. I've had no trouble. They've arrived triple styrofoam, so there's no breakage or anything like that. That's the glass I use. Oh, the camera. The camera, I use the Nikon D850. I mount that camera onto the copy stand. The lens is the macro lens, the Tokina macro lens, the AT-X Pro. It's an f2.8D lens. Okay. I generally use it at f16. Manual focus, self timer. Let the camera pick the shutter speeds. All right, so I use aperture priority. Get close, fill the frame with the negative. Boom, take the picture, self timer. Zoop, so there's no camera shake, and it goes on the SD card. Put the SD card in the computer, and you're good to go. All right. Let me see. Remember I told you yesterday in volume 14 that once you load the negatives into your computer, you can turn them from negative to positive for free if you have Windows. I don't know about Macintosh. In Paint. Open it up in Paint. Click Select All. Right click. invert color, boop, it makes your negative into a positive. Okay, little tip there, and then I open it in Movavi 6 or now Movavi Picverse. Okay, let's move along. Carmine, what is your favorite film 35 millimeter camera? It has to be this. It has to be this one. This is the Nikon F4. Okay, from here down, from here down is just the battery pack. It's the MB23 battery pack. All right, this holds a bunch of AA alkaline batteries. Okay, which is a plus why you want to get an F4. They're not that much anymore. They're not that much. You know what I mean? Uh, it's a plus because you can go anywhere in the world with this camera and never worry about where you're going to find batteries. They're AA batteries, right? It takes, I don't remember. I'd have to open it up. It takes 6 or 8, right? It adds to the weight, but this camera, autofocus, right? It has all the modes of a digital camera, right? Manual, aperture priority, shutter priority, program mode, fast shutter speed, 8,000th, 1/8,000th of a shutter speed, metal leaf shutter in the back, right? You can change this, take the prism out, put a waist level finder, and you can change the focus screens to 1/3. It'll show you the 1/3 lines, right? All metal, pro body, used by photojournalists around the world, only up to like 15 years ago, right? Before digital went crazy. Okay, and if it looks like a a digital camera, it's because the digital cameras were modeled after the F4, right? With the giant hand grip. Okay, the only thing that's missing, no screen on the back. So that answers, Carmine, what is your favorite 35 millimeter film camera? Okay, let's put that back. All right, where are we? 22 minutes. Let's keep going. What printer / paper do you use regularly? Well, I have the Canon Pro 100. The Canon Pro 100 printer is a die-based printer, right? That takes 8 cartridges, right, of different colors. It's dye-based. It's not pigment ink-based, okay? I picked that on purpose, okay, because it's dye-based. Couple of reasons why. The dye-based inks, the colors are more vivid, okay? Made some notes here. It prints on glossy printer paper better than an ink-based printer. With ink-based on glossy paper, if you move the paper and get the reflection, you can see like oxide, you know, on the surface of the paper, and I didn't never like that. The disadvantage is fading, right? Dye-based printed photographs may fade a little earlier than a pigment ink-based printed photograph, right? But if you keep them in good conditions, right, meaning out of direct sunlight, okay, not in very strong room light, you know, don't have a spotlight on it, it'll last 50 years, okay? So that, oh, and paper. What paper do I use? I currently use a Red River product. Red River is a company that manufactures photographic paper for printers. Not light sensitive, not darkroom paper, but for dye-based and ink-based photo printing, right? Such as the Canon Pro 100. My favorite so far is the Arctic Polar Satin. Arctic Polar Satin from Red River. It's a wonderful paper. Going to give you a little behind the scenes tip. With the Canon inks, okay, two things. First of all, don't buy aftermarket inks for your Pro 100. You're going to save a little money. On the other hand, the colors are not the same. Number two, you might have to just throw your whole printer away. Why? Those inks, those aftermarket, no brand cartridges that are about 70% less than Canon brand OEM inks will clog your printer head. The printer head on a Pro 100 is about that big. You will clog it and you throw away your printer. Okay? So don't do it. Only buy Canon CLI 42 cartridges. They're about $17 each color, but they last a long time. On that note, the way that I guess all cartridges work now for printers is they have a computer chip built into it, and it uses like two methods, right? It has a light. It measures the cartridge, right? Sits on top of this little light, and it can see how much ink is left. And also the chip, there's a computer chip on each cartridge, right? And it uses some math equation about how many prints you've made and time and all this. But then when you take it out, you go, wow, because they're clear. It's too far away. The cartridges are clear, so you can see how much ink is in, and you're like, geez, maybe I could get a couple more out of here, but it won't let you, right? It won't let you continue. Even if you're printing black and white, right? It has 3 black cartridges. If the yellow runs out, it won't let you print black and white. It's the system, okay? Can't beat the system. You can't override it. However, there is something called a resetter. It looks like this. This is a USB powered resetter. Here's how it works. This is specifically for the CLI 42 cartridges. Okay? The way it works is you're running your printer, the Pro 100, and you get a big X on your screen that will go, the yellow or magenta or whatever has run out of ink. Big red X, all printing stops, you're not going nowhere. With this resetter, okay, it's made in Germany. It's called the RED setter, as in red setter. USB version CLI 42, okay, made in Germany. I'll give you this SKU number, or the product number. Says PSU-CLI 42. Okay, I think I got this on eBay, I guess. Not a lot of money. So here's how it works. You plug it into a power source, right? I plug it into, the brick on the wall for your phone charger, right? I just plug it into there. It just needs power. And in here, let's see, right there, see that little rectangle right there? Those are 4 little pins, 4 little gold pins, okay? You take your cartridge, once it's plugged in, take your cartridge, your Canon Pro 100 CLI 42 cartridge, with the computer chip facing down, you slide it in, and your first thing you get is a bright flash. Boop! That means it's connected. Then about 1 or 2 seconds later, boop, the light will come on and stay on. That means that the chip has been reset. reset. You take the cartridge, put it back in. The cartridge that came up with a red X saying it's out of ink, put it back in the computer, into your printer, close it down, and you'll see on the computer it shows full of ink. Now, how long can you use it? You can use it sometimes for 5 color pictures, sometimes for 30 pictures, okay? But you have to examine each print that comes out until there's obvious lines. Now you can see lines where there should be ink, but now it's obvious. The colors will be all off. You'll see lines. It'll look like crap. That's when you have to put in a brand new CLI-42 Canon cartridge. Take out the old one that you reset, throw it away. Do not refill it. If you refill it, you will clog your printer head and you throw the whole printer away. Okay. Let me see if there's any other information I can give you. This is the instruction booklet that came with it. Red setter CLI-42 instructions. Now, when you put the cartridge in, that's what it looks like. All right, comes with the instructions. All right, so that's what I do. That's what I do. When I reset a cartridge, I make a note on a post-it note, and I put it on the printer that, for example, say GY, the gray cartridge I reset. Psst, and I put that on the printer. So when the prints start coming out screwed up, I know which cartridge I reset, because it's not going to say it anymore. It's not going to say the big red X anymore. They're all going to say perfect. So if you don't remember which one you reset, you'll be screwed. So I put a post-it note, I reset GY, and when the prints start coming out screwed up, that's the one I replace. Okay? Believe it or not, there is no cheap place to find Canon original CLI-42 cartridges. It's they have a stronghold. Canon has a stronghold out of every reseller. You go to Amazon, you go to B&H, you go anywhere, prices are all the same. There was a time during the pandy-wandy where the cartridge prices went from $16.99 each, that's what they are currently, to $16. They went down 99 cents. It's the only time anybody has ever seen a price drop on a Canon cartridge. Okay? It's the printer, okay? I'll tell you what I did. Canon, every once in a while, well, they used to anyway. They used to, it's like say a $700 printer, new in the box. But you don't buy it for that. They have this rebate program where they give you the printer. You pay full price. Give you the printer. They give you 13 by 19 inch box of photo paper, 50 sheets, right? They give you a packet of 8.5 by 11 inch luster paper for free. And then they have a rebate program. The rebate program is in the form of, if I remember, an American Express gift card for hundreds of dollars. So the bottom line, the printer ends up costing you like $100. And you get the paper, 2 packs of paper, you get the printer, and the printer, of course, comes with a set of starter inks, right? All 8. So I'm on my second one, okay? After all these years, all right? I print every day because remember, only a printed photo is a photograph. Everything else is just data sitting in your phone, sitting on an SD card, sitting in your computer, all right? If you're going to be serious about being a photographer, you have to print your photographs. And once you print your photographs, you put them in an archival book. Yeah, I'm on volume 25. Okay? You put them in an archival book. All right? You have to. Okay? You have to. This was for Memorial Day. This, you have to store and keep your photos if you're going to be a serious photographer. Photography is not about taking mass quantities of photos and then you're done. No, no. If you're going to be serious, print them out. Display a few. Yes, you cannot display around your home thousands and thousands of frames. Okay? I get it. I have about 3 of my favorites. I didn't even pick them out. My wife and my daughter did. They said, oh, we want a 13 by 19 of this one. So I have like 3 of them, 4 of them hanging up. Okay? You have to be serious about it. Yes, I understand about taking a photograph and putting it on Instagram, right? But and then emailing it to a friend or text it, making an attachment to a text to a friend. That's not photography how the art form should be respected. Respect your art. Print them. Now, you do not have to own a printer and keep a stockpile of paper and inks. I get it. Printers of professional quality are about 40 inches by 20 inches deep. They're gigantic. They're heavy. They need their own table. Okay? I get it. I'm going to recommend to you an alternative that I have used before I got my own printer, and currently when I make photo books to give to people for the holidays, for Christmas. Pick your best photographs, edit them, and then email them to Walgreens. Walgreen, I hope they're everywhere, but they don't have to be everywhere. You could be in South Dakota, send it to your nearest, email to your nearest Walgreens. They print them and pay for a little extra to have them shipped back to you. Walgreens has, in my opinion, if you're not going to do them yourself and you don't want to send them out to a professional lab for $35 each, send them to Walgreens. Walgreens will make beautiful glossy 8x10s for $1 or $2 or $3. That's it. And if you're lucky enough to live near a Walgreens, you send it to them, you email them the picture, you make an account, you send them you email them the files, they print them, and you go pick them up. How fast? A day or 2, tops. I've had photo books made. A book. It's like a coffee table book with my photos, right? Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I make 10 of those a year, and I give them out. They're photo books of my favorite photographs. So, you don't have to have your own printer. It's just another way that I beg you guys to print your photographs. Photography, right? Painting with light was never meant to be kept in your phone, on an SD card, on a hard drive, and then it's dead. It'll just die there. If your phone dies, if your computer craps out, your hard drive craps out, they're done. They're done. Right? There's an old saying, if you have one copy in your computer, you have no copies, right? 2 copies is really 1 copy, etc., etc., right? What I do, I'm glad we're on this topic. Let me see. These little SanDisk They're USB flash drives. Okay? Let me just show you something. You see these? Right? Everybody knows flash drive, right? I have an extra backup sitting here. 256 gigabyte USB flash drive. It's called the Cruiser. It's right here. 256 gigabytes. I buy these. SanDisk doesn't give me anything, right? 256 gigs. They're dirt cheap. Every 2 months, I stick it in my computer. I download all my photographs. I unplug it, and I take it, and I put it someplace safe. Now, I've got a flash drive with all my photographs for that 2-month period on a flash drive. Out of the computer. If the computer freezes, breaks, gets stolen, house catches on fire, I got another copy someplace else in a safe place. All right? This is something you got to do. You got to start thinking long term. Okay? When I started photography in the 70s, all those negatives, which fill up a tote, a 3-foot by 2-foot by 3-foot tote, you can't even pick it up. All the negatives are in there in glassine. Look up what that is. It's a special type of paper. Glassine envelopes, written on it, what it is, the date, the camera, right? I have it all. And it can't be deleted. It's not digital, right? I've got the photographs also. So, anyway, guys, I just want to urge you guys to print your photographs. Once you print them, put on the back your name, the date, the place, the camera, the film. If you developed it yourself, the developer, and sign it. Because trust me, in a year, you're not going to remember that you used Shanghai GP3 100 film. Whoops. You're not going to remember that you used Shanghai film. You're not going to even be sure, oh, when did I take that picture? Was it November? Was it September? So, just get a routine, right? Shoot the pictures the best you can. Now, here's another thing. You don't have to... I'm glad I thought of this. Yesterday, I went shooting. Okay? Go to... they're on my website. CarmineTaverna.com. They're on my website. The 3 shots I posted yesterday. Out of a roll, that was a roll of 24, I think. A roll of 24. If you get 10% of what you shoot is print worthy, right? You're doing good. You don't print all 24. That's another thing I forgot to tell you. You don't print all of them. You print the best. And believe me, 10%, that's a high ratio. That's a good percentage of keepers. Okay? So, yesterday I went out, I shot, came back, developed it. I didn't print them yet. Developed them. I edited them, put them on my website. I put them on Instagram. Same name, Instagram, Carmine Taverna on Instagram. Okay? So, right there. So don't think, how am I going to print all my photographs? Your top 10%. That's all you got to print. Okay? And when you can sit back and look at your photos in a tactile way, right? You're complete. Your art is complete. This is the product. Do you think that Da Vinci or Michelangelo, their work is on a flash drive? No, it's tactile. All right, guys. We've gone 44 minutes and 55 seconds. All right. I really want to thank you guys. I really want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe. I'm shooting for 1,000. We're more than halfway there. Just hit the subscribe button. Uh, we've got a lot more to learn. This is only volume 15. Who knows? Maybe we'll go to 1,500. I don't know. I don't know. Um, this YouTube channel is for new people and the old timers too. You pick up one thing. Pick up one thing. It was all worth your time. So please subscribe, comment below, email me anything you want to know. Maybe I'll showcase it on a Q&A volume. Black and white photo at AOL.com. Go to my website, view all my photographs that I've posted in the last few years. CarmineTaverna.com. It's a free website. I don't sell anything. There's no pop-up ads. It's just a place to view my photos in high resolution. Okay? I think that's about it. I think we've gone long enough for today. Have a great day. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Have a great evening. And if you can't sleep in the middle of the night, put this video on. Maybe I'll put you to sleep. Take care, guys. Thanks a lot.